Putin orders proposals on possible Russian nuclear test. North Korea says antagonized by U.S. sanctions will respond. Nome and tourism recovers post-storms, ready to welcome visitors back.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go to the first half of the show. Responding to President Donald Trump's announcement last week that the U.S. would resume nuclear tests on November 5th during a meeting with the Russian National Security Council, Russian President Vladimir Putin just ordered his top officials to draft proposals for a possible test of nuclear weapons.
Speaking
at the meeting, Putin reaffirmed his stance that Moscow would only resume testing if the U.S. actually conducted it first. He asked the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and relevant agencies to carefully analyze Washington's intentions and develop a coordinated proposal on the possibility of preparing for nuclear weapons tests. According to the Russian president, a comprehensive assessment of the U.S.'s move is necessary to come up with an appropriate and timely response. On the same day, Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov warned that the U.S. modernization of its nuclear arsenal and the possibility of restarting testing significantly increases the military threat to Russia. He proposed to immediately begin preparations at the Novaya Zemlya test site in the Arctic, where the Soviet Union conducted its last nuclear test in 1990.
North Korea slammed the U.S. President Donald Trump's administration for imposing sanctions that antagonize it and vowed to respond correspondingly.
North Korea's vice foreign minister in charge of U.S. affairs said, "The new sanctions reflect the U.S.'s hostile policy toward North Korea. As long as the U.S. administration does not change its attitude, we will respond to them with patience and in a proportional manner." The North Korean vice foreign minister said the U.S.'s true nature had been revealed. He warned Washington not to expect its strategy of combining pressure, appeasement, and threats to be effective against Pyongyang. Earlier, on November 4th, the U.S. Treasury Department announced sanctions against 8 individuals and 2 entities accused of being involved in money laundering schemes serving North Korea's financial network.
Late this afternoon, Typhoon number 13, Kamaji, made landfall, directly impacting the provinces of the south-central coast of Vietnam from Quang Ngai to Gia Lai provinces.
This afternoon, Typhoon number 13 was bearing down on Lai Sun Special District Quang Ngai, bringing heavy rain and strong winds. By late afternoon on November 6th, hydropower plants and reservoirs were required to discharge water at maximum capacity to ensure safety in the downstream areas during the storm and floods. Around late afternoon to tonight, November 6th, the eye of the storm is expected to move into the mainland areas of the provinces from Quang Ngai to Gia Lai. Typhoon Kalmayegi is of very strong intensity, moving at a very fast speed, with a wide radius of strong winds and heavy rain. As it nears the coast, it is still maintaining strong typhoon winds of level 14-15, with gusts up to level 17. Before the typhoon made landfall, the Prime Minister and relevant authorities issued an urgent official dispatch requiring local provinces to thoroughly evacuate and relocate residents from unsafe areas, especially fishing boats and aquaculture rafts.
Upcoming are some updated news.
This morning, the Department of Climate Change, DCC, under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, MONRE, held a conference to implement Vietnam's commitments made at the COP26 conference. During the event, delegates were provided with awareness-raising and knowledge-sharing sessions by experts, scientists, and business representatives on topics including climate change response and Vietnam's roadmap to achieve carbon neutrality. The conference also focused on discussing experiences in reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to climate change. This knowledge is crucial for state management agencies and businesses to effectively implement Vietnam's COP26 commitments, such as proactively implementing solutions for forest management and protection, developing a pilot project for forest carbon credit exchange, implementing solutions to adapt to climate change in agriculture, initiating research to gradually phase out fossil fuels, developing a plan for greenhouse gas emission reduction.
QS Education has just announced the 2026 Asian University Rankings. Vietnam has 25 schools, up 8 schools compared to the previous ranking. The newly included universities are Ho Chi Minh City University of Technology, HUTech, Foreign Trade University, Vietnam Academy of Agriculture, Ho Chi Minh City University of Agriculture and Forestry, Phenica University, Thuy Loy University, University of Commerce, and Banking Academy. The highest-ranked Vietnamese university is Vietnam National University, Hanoi, at position 158, up from last year. It is followed by Duy Tan University, ranked 165, a drop of 38 places. Following are Ho Chi Minh City National University and Ton Duc Thang University.
Nghệ An Obstetrics and Pediatrics Hospital has successfully performed a complex heart intervention on a 58-month-old child from Gieng Coang Province, Laos. After discovering the child had a heart defect at Gieng Coang Hospital and being consulted by a doctor at Ung An Obstetrics and Pediatrics Hospital, the patient's family traveled 400 kilometers to bring their child to Ung An Obstetrics and Pediatrics Hospital. Following comprehensive examination, clinical procedures, and Doppler echocardiography, the results showed that the child suffered from patent ductus arteriosus, mild mitral regurgitation, and severe pulmonary hypertension. Cardiologists immediately held a quick consultation and decided to perform a transcatheter closure of the patent ductus arteriosus using a vascular occluder device. After 30 minutes of high concentration, the team of cardiologists successfully performed the intervention. After 4 days of care and monitoring, the child's health stabilized, and the patient was discharged from the hospital.
The consecutive storms that hit Nghệ An recently caused severe damages to many local tourist sites. However, with the spirit of preventing tourism interruption, local tourism businesses have quickly started to address the consequences, proactively restoring infrastructure to soon welcome visitors back, making the destination safer and more attractive. More in the story today.
The Han Mat ecotourism area was one of the sites severely affected by the recent storms and floods. The entire system of restaurants, the bungalow area, landscape trees, and entertainment zones suffered heavy damage, with estimated total losses exceeding 1 billion VND. Immediately after the storm, the work of repairing accommodation and infrastructure was urgently carried out by the tourist area. To date, more than 90% of the work has been completed and is ready to welcome guests back safely. When I come here, I see that the tourist area has recovered quickly and the landscape is much brighter.
We have made efforts to restore early and welcomed guests back to the tourist area in mid-October.
Meanwhile, at Jai Hu Farmstay tourist site, storms number 5 and number 10 caused dozens of ancient trees to be uprooted and broken. The reception area, outdoor cafe, and check-in photo areas were also affected. Due to the heavy damage, Jai Hu Farmstay is urgently implementing repair work to reopen to welcome guests as soon as possible. The damaged trees are all old ones, so replanting them will take a long time. We are also trying to open the door to welcome guests back as soon as possible. It was not only Han Mat or Dai Hu Farmstay. Many other tourist areas and sites across the province were also severely affected by the storms. In parallel with the proactive efforts of the businesses, Nghệ An's tourism sector swiftly reviewed the extent of the damage, guided the affected units in remediation, and advised the province on supportive policies to quickly return tourism activities to normal operation. We are also advising the province to issue a support plan for damaged tourist destinations to quickly restore tourism activities. Sites in Nghệ An have achieved and are continuing to show powerful recovery. This is a positive sign for Nghệ An tourism to affirm itself as a safe, friendly, and attractive destination for both domestic and international visitors.
The last story to send it our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.